welcome to another episode of Modular in a Week, where I build a modular in a week. We're still on day 2 and part 3. We're going to make one more VCA today, and this is built around the 13700 OTA op amp. It's a really versatile op amp that can be used for many modules in a modular synthesizer or any kind of synthesizer. And today we're making a really simple circuit around it to make a VCA, which can be a little bit tweaked with the bias knob. For a few different effects. In this specific patch we're just having a square oscillator from the oscillator bank onto the CV in and a 4046 VCO into input and then out. So let's take a look at the few components we need, schematics, and let's build this. Researching online, I found out that I wanted to do my VCAs around a 13700. And doing a search on 13700, application note VCA, very specific search, led me to this article from Nuts and Bolts, where they discuss the 13700 amongst other chips, the C3080 as well. And here I found a really simple schematics for a VCA around the 13700. And this only used half of the circuits, so that's why I could make 2. And with all my design, it uses 21 components for 2 VCAs. And then I went into ECEDA again and redrew it here with some of my changes. So I changed the R1 to reflect the fact that we're running on 12 volts instead of 9. So I hope that is a better value for that. And I also added a bias potentiometer instead of in there they just have 2 470R resistors to ground. So this is the schematics we are going to work with. And if we look at the parts, so part-wise, the component list is for 2 because the schematics, the one VCA only uses half a 13700. So with one 13700 we can make 2 VCAs. And apart from the jacks cost $50 each, we say. And then we have this, the LM13700, and with my very high prices, it cost $1.50, and that is quite cheap for such a powerful chip, but it's still the most expensive part in this build. So three jacks for each VCA, so 6 jacks. 2 potentiometers for the bias, one LM13700, and a few resistors and 2 capacitors. So the thing I added is the bias, which you'll see in a once we've built it why that is quite important to have. This is the CV amount, which I actually decided to remove. So far I only feel I need the bias potentiometer and not the CV amount. So let's build this one. When I built this, I did it in 2 passes, so I didn't build both VCAs at once. I first built the right side of the 13700 and then I built the left side. Each of the OTA uses one side. And I used my newly created Vero board or proto board, which I'll explain in another video sometime. But when I did the other one I was a bit more focused, and when I was a bit more focused building it, it took around 40 minutes to build one VCA. So the first one did take a bit longer because I had to sit and figure out a few things as it went along. So say 2 hours and you have 2 very nice VCAs. As you can see, the panel is 2 other panels, so this was the original design I had for another VCA I was going to do with these chips, but I ended up with this dual version, so I'm just using 2 single version panels, which works for now. So I've ordered a new one here where I have the dual VCA in one panel. This probably could have been put together a bit, but it's nice to have some space for the fingers from time to time. So to have or not to have the CV mount, as I showed, I have built 2 on one board, and I have the CV mount pot on one and don't on the other. So this one who doesn't have the CV mount, and then we take the one that has the CV mount. I personally think that I hear bleed through from the CV more on this one, as it, you hear the click of the square wave more than you do on the one without. But I don't know. It's a choice. I believe I'm going to go without the CV mount. So this is the final module of the VCAs. So tomorrow we are going to make multipliers and mixers. And now we finally can start to combine and split our signals, which will make it more than just linear as it has been right now. So even though they're not that interesting in itself, they will make the sounds much more complex when we add those modules tomorrow. So see you in the next episode. Again, subscribe, bell, like, all that stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.